Hi, this is Dana with Designs by Dana. Today I'm going to be working with you on a baby blanket stitch called Rosette, corner to corner, or box carriage. And I've made many things with this stitch, so I have a few little different terminologies that I use when I'm teaching it. Hopefully it will be helpful to you. I did another video out there and it had some green film across the bottom, so I'm trying to do a new one. So let's get the party started, as I've heard one lady say. And what we're going to be doing is first we're going to chain 6. And in chaining 6, I weave my tail in and out until it's gone. And it's gone here by 5 and one more 6. So what I'm going to do now is go into the third chain from the bottom with a double crochet. I'm going to do another double crochet next to that one and a double crochet in the very first chain. I have now made what I call a tab. I'm actually using a pretty large hook for this just so that you can see the stitches a little better. So what I've done here is I've done 3 double crochets, and this is the chain 3. So, and this will be the space that you'll hear me speak of. So after we do the first tab, we continue and we chain up 6, and these are also your increase row. 3 in the third one from the tab, I'm going to put a double crochet. In the second one from the tab, I'm going to put a double crochet. And in the first one, I'm going to put a double crochet. Now we have our second tab. What I need to do now is to place my hook inside the chain 3 space of the first tab. So that's going to be down here at the bottom. So what I need to do is flip that up, stick my hook in that chain 3 space, and do a slip stitch, which I call kissing it together. You'll hear throughout the pattern. I'm going to chain 3 and do 3 double crochets inside of that chain 3 space, which you will hear me call 3 3 3. So we have done 2 rows already. This is a very quick working pattern. This is the first row. This is the second row, determined by how many tabs there are. And then what I also like you to note is when we chain up 6, that tab is a little longer. But as you work the pattern, it just ends up being condensed down to the same shape as the other ones. But you'll see as we work the pattern. So we are now at the end of the second row, and we are now going to increase to start row 3. And what we will do is chain 6 in the third chain from the bottom or the fourth chain from the hook. We're going to go in there with a double crochet in the next chain, and a double crochet in the last chain. So now again I need to put my hook in the chain 3 space, and in order to do that I need to take my work and flip it up. There's the chain 3 space. I do a kiss together, and then is followed by a 3 3 3, which is chain 3, 3 double crochets inside of the chain 3 space is what we've just done. This pattern works on both sides, so there is no wrong side or right side. So now what I need to do is kiss it together, meaning I need to put the hook into the chain 3 space with a slip stitch, chain up 3, and I'm going to be working the 3 3 3. Chain 3 and 3 double crochets in the chain 3 space. Now I have completed my third row. Okay, we just finished row 3, and we're going to continue on to row 4. Yours should look like this. And let's get going. This is row 1. These two represent 2, and this is row 3. Alright, so at the end of row 3, we want to go to row 4. So we would like to increase. And to increase, you chain up 6. In the chain up 6, when I get to the 3rd chain, I put my thumb and my middle finger there. Then I continue my other 3. I yarn over. I go into the one where my thumb is with a double crochet. The next chain with a double crochet, and the chain closest to your tab. When you're completed, you have your tab with your chain 3 and the space and 3 double crochets. From this point, we're going to be doing the 3-3, kissing it together with a slip stitch and 3-3-3 over to the last tab. So what do? I turn my work up. I take my hook and I place it in the chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3. And I'm now going to be completing the 3-3-3. Kissing it together in the chain 3 space. 3-3-3.
Calendar says it's not far away. That 7-day forecast says it's not anytime soon.
It's hard to think spring when you see what we saw this morning.
And the last one
Snow shower activity coming through, and I think we're not done with the snowflakes yet today.
with the 3-3-3. It's just a chain 3 and 3 double crochets. We are now have completed 4 rows, and remembering that this one looks a little longer, but it just blends right in as you continue. And we're going to do a few more of these rows before I start the decrease, which will take us into a perfect square. Okay? I'll be right back. Alright, now we're at getting ready to start row 5. And we're going to do the same thing. We are going to increase. So we're going to chain 6. We're going to do a double crochet in the 3rd one from the tab. And another one in the next chain closest to the tab, and in the 1st chain closest to the tab. At this point, we now are going to bring our work up to our hook, and we're going to insert our hook in the chain 3 space with a slip stitch, and we're going to do the 3-3-3, which is chain 3, and do 3 double crochets inside of the chain 3 space. We will now kiss it together, and we'll do 3-3-3. And as the blanket gets larger and larger, you'll be doing more kissing than you will be to get to each corner. Kissing this together with a slip stitch and 3-3-3. Chain 3, 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space. We are now at the end of the row, and we're going to go into that chain 3 space with a slip stitch, kissing it together, and we'll do our last 3-3-3, which is a chain 3 and 3 double crochets in the chain 3 space. And if you look and we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have completed 5 rows. Look to the side. You can count also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also, if you look really, really close, they're alternated. This one is going this way. This one is up and down. So you're going to have your horizontal and your vertical every other one. And it makes it look like a beautiful basket weave. There is no wrong side. There is no right side. When I come back, we'll start on row 6 and 7, and then I think we'll do the decrease. Alright, we're back. We've just completed row 5. We will now continue on to row 6. We will chain up 6, 3, and 3 is 6. I will do a double crochet in the third one, the second one, and the first one. We will now bring our work up, and I'll take my hook and insert it into the chain 3 space with a slip stitch, which is kissing it together. I will do a chain 3 and 3 double crochets inside of the chain 3 space. I hear my grandbaby in there crying with my daughter, so she must not be pacifying her. So I'll finish this row out and go check on her and come back, and we will row 7. So now I'm just doing the 3 3 3 and kissing it together in the chain 3 space. So now I'm kissing it together with a slip stitch, chain 3. I'm doing 3 double crochets. I'm at the last one, and I'm going to stick that hook in that chain 3 space with a slip stitch, and I'm going to chain up 3 and do 3 double crochets, and we are now at the end of row 6. Beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful square. I think I'm still going to do, well, for camera purposes, I probably better, when I come back, start the decrease for you. Okay? And this is a very fast working pattern, as I told you. A minute for each row. So I'll get right back with you. I'm back. Sorry about that. We ended on row 6. My granddaughter required all of my attention, so I was unable to finish the square yesterday. So I'm going to pick up today and start with a decrease and get you going with this baby blanket. Now I'm just making a 6.5 inch square, but you can do a large blanket. My suggestion would be, instead of doing the 6 tabs that I'm doing for a very large blanket, you want to do anywhere from 30 to 60 tabs before you start your decrease, and you will end up with a beautiful size blanket. So let's get going. Alright, so here we are at 6 tabs, and we're going to start the decrease. So starting the decrease, we will not be chaining up, we will be slip stitching across. We are going to slip stitch across the 3 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. Slip stitch is also in this application going to be called a hidden stitch, because we're going from point A to point D without height. And it's also going to be doing, at the same time, it's going to be framing off your edges. Alright, so what I need you to do is turn your work and go into the first double crochet with a slip stitch, the top of the second one with a slip stitch, the third one with a slip stitch, and the space with a slip stitch. And this is what it would look like. And then we're going to carry on with the pattern until we get all the way back over to this last one. But what I'm going to have you do is also at this time stop and grab you 2 markers. You can use safety pins, bobby pins, yarn, whatever your choice of marking is. Alright, now we're going to do the pattern 3 3 3, chain 3, 3 double crochets in the chain 3 space. When we kiss this one together to the next one, we have started our decrease row. Now we're going to be decreasing by 1 tab every row, all the way down to 1. What I'd like you to do is get your marker and place it in the chain 3 space. The reason we're going to do that, because when we come back, that's going to tell us something to do. Alright, so now we're just going to finish off this row with your 3 3 3 and kissing it together. So the 3 3 3 is the chain 3 double crochets in the chain 3 space, and then slip stitch in the next square, which is kissing it together. This pattern, I think I probably shared with you, was a very fast working stitch, and it's just one of my favorites. You can make all kind of things with it. And I don't know that I show you when you start the decrease, that's also where you can change your color at. That's especially if it's a different color. Well, if you change color, it is a different color. So, alright, when we get to this last one, in order for it to be a perfectly square, I found in doing work in this pattern, for it to be perfectly square, meaning having the same amount of tabs on each side, instead of doing that last row of 3 3 3, we stop right there. And I'll show you when we get done. And then we are going to flip our work to turn around and go back the other way, and we're going to slip stitch across the tops of the 3 double crochets and into the chain 3 space with a slip stitch. Alright, and if you turn it the opposite way, the yarn will already be on that side. So I'm going to slip stitch in the top of each one, and then I'm going to chain up 3, and I'm going to start going back, same pattern, 3 3 3, and I'm going to slip stitch. Now at this point I would be stopping and asking you to take a marker and place it in here, but for purposes of, this will probably happen to you if you don't use your marker, I'm not going to put that marker in there, so that when we come back you'll see what I mean. Alright, so I'm going to take it out and just sit here aside, but normally this is what you do, is put it in here, but just to say in case you forget, I'm going to show you what happens when we come back. So now we're working our way across. Each row we are decreasing by 1 tab. Kissing it together, 3 3 3. Kiss it together, 3 3 3. And I'm coming to the last one of this row, and this pattern goes really fast now that we're decreasing. Alright, here I am at the marker. This is where I would be slip stitching. So I'm going to slip stitch in there. What this marker is telling me, to stop. Turn my work to go back. And I'm going to slip stitch across these 3 double crochets and into the chain space. Slip stitch, slip stitch, slip stitch, and into the space. Now we're going to do the 3 3 3, which is chain 3 double crochets in the chain 3 space, and I have a little knot here because I had already did this pattern and had to back it out, and then kiss it together. At that point I'd have you stop and move your marker. Take your marker out of here and move it over to this chain 3 space, so that when you come back, now remember, we forgot to do it on the other end. I'm going to show you what happened. We're still in the 3 3 3, and if you ever put your work down and come back to it, you should always be very easy to see where you're at in the pattern. Not any really counting that you have to do, other than if you're doing a pattern and you need to change your colors or something. Okay, here we are at this one, and the marker's not here, so we're going to do 3 3 3. Now the only problem with this is when you get done, you're like, oh, where do I go? There's nowhere to go. Well, I've done that many times, been working on a blanket, and then all of a sudden I was up into nowhere. There was nothing to kiss it to or anything. That's why I ask or teach you to, until you get used to the pattern, and it saves you a couple of extra seconds, is to put that marker there. So have that marker been there, when I got to that spot and kissed it together, it would have told me to turn my work, to go back across, because I'm decreasing. So, decreasing across the top 3 double crochets and into the chain 3 spot, and then I'm going to do my 3, 3, 3. And then I'm going to kiss it together. And then if we were on a bigger blanket, I'd have you put the marker there, but because I know the square is almost complete, we won't worry about that. We will do the 3, 3, 3. We will kiss it together. And there's a marker there telling us what? To stop and turn our work, to go back across what we just did. Alright, so we're going to slip stitch, which is now doing a hidden stitch to get from point A to point D. We're there. We're going to chain up 3. This is what your very last one will look like. Chaining up 3, there's only one place to kiss it. And when you kiss it, you are going to have a perfect square. Kiss it together. Sometimes what I do is slip stitch back across here so that I'm in the corner, which I'll do for you right quick, so that all my edges are the same. Complete it off and into the last one, and then cut and pull it and then weave in. Now take my marker out. What I want you to see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect square. And if I have my measuring tape, just a little over 6 inches. 6 inches. 8 corner to corner. So this is called corner to corner because you start with 1, and when you decrease in the middle, you end with 1. The only other thing I forgot to show you is when we were halfway there before we started our decrease. If you kept going like this and made it bigger, you'd have a big shawl. Just make it really big, and then you could just put fringe on the ends. Do different colors. There's just so many ways you can go with this pattern. And of course, the better quality yarns that you use, the softer, pliable it'll be. It'll just be a beautiful, the last blanket I made in this, I used Simply Soft, and that blanket is just simply soft. So I really hope you will enjoy this stitch. Please leave comments if you enjoyed this tutorial, even though we had to go through 2 days to make it. Click like. Also click on the subscribe button. And if there's anything in the future that you would like me to work with and help you with, please just ask. I always ask you to go, the information down in the description box will have my store on Etsy, and follow my work. So as I would say at the end of my class, Crocheting with a Purpose, Psalms 90:17, may the favor of the Lord, our God, rest upon us, establishing the works of our hands for us, yea, establishing the works of our hand. Thanks for watching, and be blessed.